often find myself wandering aimlessly on my journey with grief. On more than one occasion, my unfocused wanderlust has grabbed my hand and quietly led me to a cemetery. I've always sort of had a tepid indifference to cemeteries, never attracted to or repelled by the sight of hundreds of graves. But after laying the remains of my daughter in a hole in the ground, returning her vessel to the earth, a quiet respect for them has grown in my heart. I now understand that the significance of cemeteries is not in the manicured landscapes, meticulously arranged flowers, expensive headstones, or even the fact that they are the resting place for human remains. The significance of cemeteries is that they are the place where we say our final goodbyes to our loved ones. That's a powerful thing. Memento Mori, or when translated from Latin, remember you must die. The inevitability of our passing and the passing of those we love is something we try largely to ignore. It's a can we continually kick down the road in the hopes that our road will simply end without us seeing it coming. If we pretend that it won't happen to us, we somehow feel shielded from death by blissful ignorance. If only it worked that way. Very recently in human history, this was not the case. With life expectancy being far shorter just a few centuries ago, society went about death and grief much differently. For starters, people didn't pretend it didn't exist. Adults died young, often working themselves to death in factories or mines. Losing a child, even an infant, was commonplace because of illness. Medicines weren't as developed. Food was not as plentiful. The world was a harder place to live, or at least a harder place to thrive. Because of the mortality rate, death was more accepted as a part of life. If a family lost a child, it was acknowledged by the community. Support was given. It was not something merely whispered about among the carefree onlookers. Everyone openly accepted that it could have just as easily been their own child. People did not shy away from the fact that we all inevitably return to the earth. They supported each other out of necessity, if nothing else. My own death is not something I've ever put much thought into. Despite having a career that sometimes put me in harm's way over the last 12 years, I've never truly faced my own mortality. It's a reality I've tried largely to ignore, perhaps even intentionally. I assumed, especially because I had my children at such a young age, that we would all grow old together and I would leave this world first with them following me shortly after. We would not have to spend much time apart. Being wrong about something has never been so devastating. No parent should have to bear the pain of bearing a child. Allison's death has changed my outlook on so many things, including death itself. I've lost loved ones before her, but not like this. Not traumatically. Discovering her body was an experience I won't ever forget. Believe me, I've been trying to for 6 months. It's a moment in time that I'm still trapped in. I died that day too. My old life crumbled and blew away like dust in the wind. I've come to realize that what I found that day wasn't her. Not anymore. The essence of who and what Allie was as I knew her in this life was gone. All that was left was an empty husk, like a butterfly that had shed its cocoon. She was gone. Not erased from existence, just moved on to whatever comes after this. It's made me realize that death is not the opposite of life. Rather, it is a part of life, an inevitable part, much like grief is an inevitable part of love. And I don't believe that death is truly the end. I believe that our stories continue and our time here on Earth is merely a chapter in our books. In summation, Memento Mori is a reminder that, despite how long and fruitful your life may be, it will end, and you should live it with that in mind. You can't take any of the possessions you amassed during this life with you to the afterlife, not even your body. What matters both now and in the next chapter are the love and connections with others you made that have settled in your heart like sand in an hourglass that's out of time. Thanks for watching. As always, be patient, be kind, and love yourself. See you soon.